Hello, my name is Rachel Kelter, and I'm the school counselor at Century Academy. Today, we're going to be talking about high school planning, college and career planning, and 10th grade class registration. The students over the four-year high school career will take 6 classes as a freshman for 30 credits their first semester and 30 credits their second semester, for a total of 60 credits at the end of the year. This is also true in 10th grade, where students will take 6 classes for a total of 60 credits their junior year as well. If they are on track with credits and have 180 at the end of their junior year, then seniors can take 5 classes for a total of 50 credits to earn the total 230 credits needed in order to graduate from high school. This slide lays out all the graduation requirements. Students need 4 years of English, 3 years of math, including Algebra 1, 2 years of PE, physical science, biology, 1 year of world history, 1 year of US history. Their senior year, they'll take a semester of US government and a semester of economics. Freshman year students take health, and students need to take either 1 year of a visual performing art, or 1 year of a language, or 1 year of a career technical education class. And they need to take a number of electives for a total of 230 credits. You will see the visual performing art or language or CTE requirement. Some students get confused and they think they have to take a language in order to graduate. Students need either 1 year of a visual performing art or a language or CTE class to graduate from high school. However, if the student is interested in going straight from high school to a four-year college, they do need 2 years of the same language, and many colleges like to see more than that. So that's where some of the confusion sometimes happens. Let's talk about credits. Each semester class is worth 5 credits. As a junior and senior, there are some elective classes worth 10 credits per semester. Students must earn at least a D- to earn the credits given. If a student fails a required class, he or she must repeat the class in order to graduate. Each semester is separate and must be passed. When students fail classes, they fall behind in credits and will need summer school to stay on track with the graduation requirements. Students who have failed classes should definitely discuss ways to recover credits with me. Here's a sample schedule for students in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. So you can see students have 4 years of English, 3 years of math. Your freshman year, you have health, and moving on to your 10th grade year, you start your history class with world history and continue with science. Students have 2 years of PE, and you can see in their freshman and sophomore year that students have more required classes, but in your junior and senior year, students start having the opportunity to take a lot more electives. In terms of the level of classes, we have college prep, honors, and advanced placement. The college prep classes are classes that meet the requirements and prepare students for admission to a four-year college. Honors classes are a little bit more rigorous and challenging, and your advanced placement classes are college level classes. And if a student passes the AP exam, they may earn college credit for their AP classes. In terms of planning ahead, let's think about life after high school. We have college and other post-secondary options. Now is a great time to start thinking about your goals after high school. One option is your four-year colleges, and this includes schools like UCLA, Cal Lutheran right here in town, USC, San Diego State. These are all universities where a student would attend the university for 4 years to earn their bachelor's degree. We also have community colleges. Community colleges are the first 2 years in a 4-year degree. Here in town, we have Moorpark College. There's also Ventura College, Oxnard College, Pierce College. Those are all examples of the community colleges close by. Moorpark College has a wonderful grant right now called the Promise Grant, where if students go full-time and fill out the FAFSA, which is the financial aid application. Regardless of income, you can be eligible for the Promise Grant, which pays tuition for the first 2 years. So pretty amazing opportunity. Moorpark College is also ranked 4 in the nation and #1 in California for transfers. So again, just a fantastic opportunity right in our backyard. There's also technical vocational training opportunities for students. There's culinary arts programs, IT training, fire academy to be a fireman, or cosmetology school. So lots of great options for students depending on the path that interests them the most. Let's look at the four-year colleges. You have the California Public Universities, which include the Cal State Universities. Cal State Channel Islands is right here close to us. There's Cal State University Northridge, San Diego State, San Francisco State. There's a number of them all throughout California. We also have the UCs, UCLA, UC Irvine, UC Berkeley, a lot of really great UC options in California. We also have out-of-state public universities. That might be University of Michigan, University of Oregon. We also have private universities. An example of the private universities, USC, Stanford, CLU, Notre Dame. So these are all examples of your four-year college options. Let's talk about preparing for the four-year universities. Students interested in going straight from high school to a four-year college will need to meet the required college prep classes for admission to a four-year university. The UCs call these admission requirements the A through G requirements, and each letter stands for a different core subject requirements. And the next slide will go into that a little bit more. In general, students should earn a C or above in all their classes and have at least a 3.0 GPA to meet the minimum requirements. These are the minimum requirements, so your more selective schools are going to want to see mostly A's and B's, and some of your highly selective schools, of course, mostly A's. Students are strongly advised to repeat any D grade to remain eligible for the four-year college admission requirements and also to improve their GPA. Students may need to take the SAT and or the ACT. This is the standardized test that students used to have to take for the college admission applications. However, the colleges are now moving away from the SAT and the ACT. So now many schools are test optional. Some schools are test blind, and some use them strictly for scholarships and that sort of thing. Here's the A through G requirements again for the UCs and Cal States. You can see the A stands for history and social science, where 2 years are required. 4 years of English are required. With math, 3 years are required. However, the universities really prefer 4 years. With the lab science, 2 years are required. However, 3 years are recommended. And many of the schools out of state and private schools do require 3 years of a lab science, and some even 4. So it's good to continue on that path. For the language requirement, if you want to go straight from high school to the four-year college, you do need 2 years of the same language. Your more selective schools like to see 3 years. Your visual performing art is 1 year for the UCs and Cal States, and then we have a 1 year of an elective. Here's a schedule for students 9 through 12 who might be interested in going straight from high school to a four-year college. So you can see students will, of course, have the 4 years of English, and then with math, the recommendation is continue and take math in your senior year. With science, the recommendation is to take 3 years of science, and if science is a field you have a strong interest in, potentially 4 years of science. 2 years of a language meets the minimum requirement. However, the more selective schools like to see 3 years or even 4. And then you can see the history classes, and of course, you have your PE for your first 2 years, but then the option for more electives and the visual performing art requirement might come into play here. For students who are interested in playing a sport in college, it's really important that you let me know if you're interested in playing a sport in college, because there are certain NCAA eligibility requirements that students need to make in order to play at the Division I or Division II level. I provided a link here if you're interested in going to the NCAA website and learning about what those core requirements are. There's a 16 core course requirement, which is different than your UC A through G list. So it's important that student athletes are aware of what these requirements are and are making sure that they're meeting those requirements. A student athlete should register with the NCAA by the end of their 11th grade. Again, if you have questions about the NCAA and playing a sport in college, please talk to me. Let me know your interests. The slide shows a timeline for the college process over 4 years. In your 9th grade year, it's a great year to start planning ahead and maybe visiting campuses and thinking about what type of school you might be interested in. A small school, large school, close to home, far away. It's the time to work hard and earn good grades. In 10th grade, as you can see, grades still matter. If you want to, you can start taking the PSAT, which is offered in October, and continue to explore campuses. In 11th grade, students can take the PSAT in October, and depending on the schools they're interested in, certainly prepare to take the SAT and or the ACT. Strongly encourage students to tour campuses and see what seems to be a good fit for them. And then in the summer before your senior year, I strongly encourage students to start working on their college applications and continue to do so in the 12th grade year, and then finish their applications and look for scholarships and wait to see and figure out where you might be headed. Let's also talk about preparing for the community college. As I mentioned before, Moorpark College is a fantastic option with a Promise Grant, potentially free for the first 2 years, which is amazing. It's also important to note that students do not need to meet the specific A through G requirements or GPA requirement. The SAT and ACT is not required. So some students' life has happened and maybe they struggled in high school for one reason or another. So the community college is a great option as well. So students can definitely start at the community college and then transfer to one of the 4-year colleges that interest them. We mentioned the Promise Grant as well as their smaller class sizes. So definitely a great way to save money. We have had one of our students who is a valedictorian choose to go to Moorpark. She wanted to be a doctor and knew it was going to be a great way for her to save money. Moorpark College is very much college, so we strongly encourage students to continue to challenge themselves in high school with rigorous coursework and prepare themselves. One example would be to make sure, if you can, complete the Algebra 2 CP requirement so that you can be ready for college level math. So that's a good class to take as well. I mistakenly said requirement. It's not a requirement to start at Moorpark College, but it is helpful to have that level of math. If a student doesn't have Algebra 2 CP and they're starting at Moorpark College, that's okay. They can take the equivalent of Algebra 2 CP or take entry-level college math, but then certainly I would encourage them to take advantage of the community college math supports that are in place to help students be successful. Students can earn an associate's degree or transfer to a 4-year college and earn their bachelor's degree. There's also the transfer agreement guarantee. This is something that the UCs offer, where if a student starts at the community college and they meet certain requirements, many of the UCs will offer a transfer agreement guarantee, and as long as you earn a certain GPA and complete these course requirements, they will actually guarantee to accept you as a transfer student, which is pretty amazing. Let's also talk about the technical vocational training opportunities. And for juniors and seniors, we have the Regional Occupational Program, which has some wonderful classes. There's some welding classes, auto body, auto service, nursing, dental assistant. So some really great classes for students interested in those fields. The community colleges also offer a variety of programs. Oxnard College and Ventura College have really good automotive programs. We have welding. Oxnard College has culinary arts and the Fire Academy. So lots of great opportunities for students interested in this path. In the Valley, there's also the West Valley Occupational Program, and there's apprenticeships available for students interested in becoming an electrician or a plumber and so forth. Naviance is a program that the district provides for our high school students, and it's a great website to help students plan for their future. So using website, students can explore their interests, research careers, and they can apply to colleges, look for scholarships, and it's a way for students, and when they're applying for colleges, we can help with the college application process as well. Now let's start talking about the course request form. So for 10th grade, this is the form that you will fill out. I will send it to you and it'll be a fillable form. So you'll want to complete the top portion with your identifying information. For English, you'll need to select an English class, then a math class, a science class, social studies, PE, and then an elective. I will also provide an elective sheet for you to look over, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. And then we'll want to have a parent sign off on your course selection, and of course you sign off as well. You can save this form and then send it to me, so then I can enter your classes in queue and make sure that you get the classes that you're hoping for. Here's the elective sheet. So at the top, we have the electives that either meet in person on campus or they meet via Zoom. So these have a meeting component, whether it's in person or via Zoom. And we have the days and times there. There possibly could be some changes in terms of days and time, but for the most part, we're hoping those will pretty much be the way that when the classes are offered. And then at the bottom, you can see the elective choices that are completely independent and for the most part on Apex. You'll see for some of the classes, they are a one semester class. So if you are choosing a one semester class, you will need to choose another semester class to go on the other side of that class. Okay. If you have questions about electives, I'm happy to answer any and all of those questions. In terms of filling out the course request form, I'm hoping to meet with all of you, each one of you one by one, so we can work on your course requests and make sure we have a good schedule set up for you depending on what your goals are. There's also the opportunity for students to have a dual enrollment. With our residential schools, students do have the option to play a sport at either Newberry TO or Westlake. We also have some opportunities where a student could take band, theater, chorus, or sometimes a language that we don't offer. If you are interested in a dual enrollment at one of our high schools, let me know, and we can see whether or not we can get a seat for you in one of those classes. Students can also take classes at Moorpark College. They are college level classes, so sometimes it's students may wait until they're a little bit older to take college classes, but if there's a class that really interests you, students can certainly do that in high school and take a college class and get college credit. And then when they give us the transcript, we can add it to their high school transcript as well. Students can take up to 40 credits outside of the district to have those credits added to their high school transcript. And finally, let's talk about summer school. So students who have failed courses will most likely need summer school. Students interested in remediating a grade, a D grade for the four-year college, will also need summer school. This summer, it sounds like the district summer school will be at Newberry Park High School. Students can also take summer classes outside of the district. And there's a variety of options that offer summer school online. So if that's what you're interested in, please let me know and I can share some different options that other students have used. And again, let's work together on figuring out summer school. I want to make sure everybody who needs it gets signed up and understands the process. So thanks so much for listening to this presentation on high school planning, college and career planning, and the course registration. Please fill out your course registration request and email that to me as soon as possible. Let me know when you would like to meet so we can schedule a time to discuss your schedule. If I don't hear from you, I will start dropping into advisory teacher meetings so we can make sure that we figure out a schedule moving forward. All right, have a good day and let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that I can help you with. Look forward to talking to all of you.